Well, last session before the break, which is always an enviable position to be in, but I promise this is going to be quite entertaining. We're going to humiliate each other live on stage. No, I'm not kidding. There will also be completely incorrect math equations on some of these slides as well. So hopefully that's enticed you enough to stick around. It should be very entertaining. Let me grab the clicker, as they say, really quickly. So, as was already mentioned, I am Sean. This is Edward. We love the idea of ecosystems and of all of you, dear partners, customers, developers, contributing to that. But before we get into that, let's, as I promised, humiliate each other. We did this last year. I did this with my colleague Yara, where I have never seen a word that he's given me, because Edward speaks a few languages, and I'm going to attempt live to pronounce this word in front of all of you, and then similarly, I am going to give him a word as well. So Edward's word is first. This was my idea, so I should go first, and that is a lot of consonants together. Bjola.
Bjola.
Bjola. Which
Almost
means bee, I can tell from the slide. Bjola.
Yeah.
Can anybody say that? If you're not Ukrainian, can anybody say that? Does that look easy to everybody? Okay, he's Cuban and he got it right, so now I'm a little embarrassed. Okay, all right, Edward. Now I have one that's, although you speak English, it's pretty diabolical, even for an English speaker, and that is
Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch.
I invite the crowd to try to say that 3 times. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch? Yeah, I hear mishmash right now. Yeah, it's pretty hard, right? Irish wristwatch. I guess they're very difficult to sell because they're impossible to say. All right, so that's our co-humiliation. Thank you very much for sitting through that. So let's actually talk about ecosystem and contributing to Spryker. Hopefully, a lot of the information on this slide isn't new because we've been talking about this for a while. In a sentence, we're trying to really double down and double click on the ecosystem concept for our platform. And there's many ways for developers, partners, customers to contribute to the ecosystem. We've got a fast pull request review process now in place so that you get very quick feedback. We have partner accelerators. We've been working with some of our solution partners to build and to deploy. You may have heard about a little bit about that already. And we also have a relatively new program called commercial contributions, which if you don't know what that is or you only know a little bit, please seek me out afterwards. I'd love to talk to you more about that. But you as developers, to make it a little bit more concrete, can contribute in a number of ways. You can do platform contributions, which are for small changes and fixes. Innovation Lab, with which if any of you have ever gone to a hackathon, and hopefully many of you were at our hackathon yesterday, most of the work that comes out of that ends up in our Innovation Lab, where there's lots of cool things to check out. And then finally, as I already said, we have commercial contributions and accelerators. Lots more information is available. I'll leave this up for a second, but there's a QR code there for you to scan if you'd like to learn more, or you can just talk to one of us because the break will be up next. Okay, so why should you care? Why should you care in general about ecosystems, but also why should you personally care as well? Well, I told you there would be bad math, and here's one example here, right? 1 + 1 = 3. And this is, the spirit of this is really quite beautiful. The concept is essentially we can create more value if we work together than if we do individually. The hub and spoke model where we have Spryker as the platform and then individuals kind of working on that and branching it. Yeah, that works to a certain extent, but the amount of value that we can create for our customers, but also for ourselves, if we contribute and collaborate together differently, is so much more powerful. And I want to talk a little bit about why that is so powerful today. This quote, I think, beautifully encapsulates what I mean by that. Now, the book sucks. It's actually not very good. I don't encourage anybody to read it. It's 300 pages, and I've already just saved you several hours. I'm already providing value. But the quote itself and the spirit of what it captures, I think, is great. Create more together than we could on our own, right? Does this actually work? Don't take my word for it. We should talk about a couple of examples. One that many of you, being techies, have probably already heard about is ARM Semiconductor. And you may not know, ARM doesn't make anything. They design semiconductors, and then they sell their intellectual property out to a huge variety of different people that in turn utilize them. In this room, in our pockets, there is almost certainly technology designed by ARM Semiconductor. You've got manufacturers. You've got foundries that are actually making the chips. OEMs, you've got software developers, you've got device makers that make the devices that we buy every day, and they all connect together in an ecosystem that generates so much more value because of the way that they collaborate together. But again, don't take my word for it. We're looking at a multi-billion-dollar company that has over 500 active different entities working within this ecosystem. So it's not really all these lines being connected, but it's hundreds of dots under each one of these categories that create that beautiful flywheel of ecosystem. But this is hardware, right? Does it work in software? Many of you undoubtedly have heard of Twilio, right? They have a even more complex ecosystem because they do text messaging, they have to deal with telecom providers. They make end products for customers, they have solution partners, technology partners, not unlike what it's like for Spryker. And they are also a multi-billion-dollar company that has billions of calls to their APIs every day. Talk about performance, right? So this is really amazing what they've been able to create, but they're only a small part, Twilio and ARM, of a much larger ecosystem. And this is the vision that we have that I think we haven't done a good job of explaining to you until really now. And this is what I believe we all stand to gain and to create by working together with that ecosystem mentality. So, all right, fine. It probably works on a macroeconomic scale, but what are the benefits for me as a developer or a partner? Well, firstly, as a developer, assuming many of you are very career-focused, the exposure and the recognition, the growth in your career, the ability to build a digital reputation, and to see your code used elsewhere, and the gratification I all know you get from that, all of this is enhanced when you're able to show your value created in an ecosystem. And then for partners, the competitive advantage, the ability to enhance your capabilities, to demonstrate your own expertise, but also to grow your business and to show that you have influence and control over the platform in which you operate are very valuable to you, both economically, but also just in terms of your own brand, right? So what does this mean for me? Well, let's get more into the tech side. This is the developer stage after all. Firstly, there's many ways to contribute to Spryker, but not all of them are created equal. And indeed, we, in order to make this better, have recently published documentation on how to contribute to Spryker, to help you build modular and in the best way, and to help you make your code more reusable. And everything disappeared, and there's only a QR code right now, but this QR code is a direct link, and I encourage, because it's relatively new, the documentation, if you're interested, give it a scan, and keep it on your phone so you could take a look later. What Edward will be doing is going through, using live examples, a lot of the documentation there. I see a lot of phones in the air. I'll wait a few more seconds. Okay. All right. And with that, I will hand it over to my esteemed engineering colleague here, Edward, to talk about.
Yes, so as Sean already mentioned, we published recently new documentation which is actually explain you how to build standalone modules, how to follow best Spryker practices, which tool you can use to keep your code within the given border, and how to get modular functionality with less dependencies. So let's start. You see on screen, it's interesting experience. Okay, let's do like this. So this is our public documentation. I'm not going to click through the all pages because it's no better. Okay, so you can do this by your own. And I'm going to use actually prototype, which appears as an answer to the question, when I, as developer, which kind of experience I would like to get when I have to deal with module development? Do I want to all the time back to documentation, check what I need to do, or maybe I will copy already existing one and modify something, or maybe I would like to have some kind of assistant that will guide me through this process and help me to get these things faster. So this tool available on our community organization, and as I mentioned, this is prototype. If you like it, feel free to contribute. So in general, I wouldn't go into details how it works. It's not the topic for this talk. So let's generate a module. Our goal here, generate a module, publish on GitHub, add small adjustments, and also install to B2B public demo shop and see how it works. So we have, on my local machine, I have up and running demo shop. Let's check. Here we're going to add a column to this table, product table, which will be named Excite, and put there some static value. So let's do this. So you can say, I want to generate module. You need to connect this tool to your GitHub organization with proper permissions. So you would like to, you need to choose a vendor where you would like to publish this module. So in this case, this is my Volkhov PHP, and name of this module will be like Excite demo. You will be able to choose license. I don't need to care about the text, it will be there added automatically. So contribution template you can choose. Send for, I would like to publish it as a private repository on GitHub. I don't want to be this demo module appears somewhere. So, and for our task, we need to add to use that layer. As I mentioned, this is a prototype. Here are a few things just now, but more coming soon. And we will need to use communication layer. So you know that you need to define a module. You will need to, which will consume plugin we're going to develop. And when I came to this point, I said, okay, I need to search through documentation. This is not something I would like to get. Can I get something kind of interactive search through the Spryker classes definition, interfaces, and so on? And here we are. So you can search like we need product management module. You see it's here we are. We choose product management module, and we would like to implement a configuration extension interface. When you click to the classes, you can see which kind of methods available there. And for this example, we will need one more plugin. For bulk data processing. And here we are. And actually, that's it. So we don't want to add anything. We need to wait a bit. Tool will generate Git repository. Will create pull request from dev to master to main branch. Also, we'll execute some style checks, code style checks before publishing, and module will be available already. Meanwhile, we can you can see. I hope it's visible. It's still in work, so it's not ready yet. Okay, here we are. It's already published. Looks like. No. What happens? Repository was created. It was integrated. Yes.
You named it D. Yeah, go look at the.
What?
Go back to GitHub. Is it D? Yes. Updated now? At the top? At the top?
This one?
No, above D.
One
back.
second.
Go back.
I'm looking there.
Oh, it's the top one. Yeah, right.
This
Up,
one?
one more up. That's the one. No, right there.
Ah, okay. Ah, okay.
Did it work?
Sorry. It will work, no worries. So we have this actually repository generated on GitHub. We have documentation based on this guideline. So based on what we just selected, there was generated integration guideline, what you need to do. So how to actually activate your model to work in Spryker. Here are some references to classes, examples, and so on. And now I need to check. You see in B2B demo shops appears already a composer modification, a repository URL was added. There also was registration of new namespace, and also plugin registration happens here we have actually registration method, which wasn't available in this demo shop by default, so it was taken from vendor class. And let me quickly. Oh, here we have code. It's like this. This is configuration. Oops. One moment. Let's implement a small code here. So headers config. I think something like this, I hope. Then we need to modify a bit structure. Never had before such kind of experience to see on monitor in few meters up front, but excited. Here I see mistake. Sorry for this mess a bit.
One of the best practices in the documentation is not to use a monitor that's like 10 meters away from you. You're going to find much more effective.
Hey, what happens?
This was all copied, and you meant to paste this?
I can check. Actually, maybe I have made a mistake. Let me double check. I can check it here. Yes, 1 second. No, it's what I did just right now. Okay. So I hope it will work. And here we need to extend this static value for each items. Item. Item. Items. As item. Oh, sorry guys for these things. Item. Okay, now we need to commit these things to.
So we're done coding now?
Yes, I think
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I don't want to ask how much longer it's going to be because I'll be too much like a product manager if I do.
So what? Oh no.
So let's go ahead and talk about what was supposed to happen instead of what's going to happen.
Okay, so it's actually already done. Last step in this example, you just need to integrate module. You just need to execute command from documentation here. And we are done. Actually, it should appear there. if in case I didn't make any mistake, it will be there. But we didn't manage to push it to remote. Maybe I can do it from this side.
Guido, maybe we won't put the QR code up at the end of this one. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, it's there. Okay, we updated it, and finger crossed. No. Okay, there was a mistake in implementation. But anyway, idea, just to sum up this stuff. This approach allows you to focus on business implementation, not to routine. So for me, it's like create a template, all this stuff related to integration and so on. This is kind of routine work, and I can focus for something more valuable for me. So, and I think that's it.
Can we give a hand for Edward, who just lived through every developer's nightmare on stage? You're still alive, man. You made it.
Okay, yes.
Well done,
I
sir.
think here was a mistake, but again.
You know what? Let's just, leave it. All right,
Yes,
if we
we
could
are
switch
done with
back
live
then.
now.
Okay, so now hopefully after scanning the QR code, seeing an example and how difficult it is to develop from 10 meters from your screen, you know a little bit more about how the guidelines work. We'll talk a little bit more about them certainly in our recap, but we're available after this session as well for even more questions. But if, Edward, you want to go through some recap of the best practices?
Yes, so actually focus on this approach we just presented allows you to get more structured code, publish this to community, make available for everyone else. You also can reduce this routine stuff from project to project. You can reuse module, you can publish even on private GitHub. So you can use our tools for validations and stick to, which will allow you to stick with Spryker code standards. And yes, that's it.
And I'd also like to just conclude by offering a huge thank you and a sincere apology. If you don't see yourself up here, and you should, come and get me and blame me for everyone who has been contributing and who is even planning to contribute. We're so grateful for it. We cannot do this. We cannot achieve our mission without all the people who are in this room right now, and we're so thankful for what you've contributed already. We can't wait to see what else you might come up with as well. And with that, thanks so much for your attention.